My 2024 resolution, like at the start of 2024, was to get good at art, to draw every day, which I did do, and today we're going to judge if I got any good or not. There were definitely some ups and downs, more than I could probably count, but here we are. So today we're going to go through some of those so you can see how much can someone who's average, I don't have any experience, I didn't do anything more than like year 10 art, grade 10 art, so this is, and I'll give you some tips at the end too, or you can pick things up on what I was missing. Okay, let's start. Okay. So these are my probably 6 weakest ones. They all look like they have, she especially looks like she's got some really bad skin condition. She looks like it's not skin, it's something else. That's Nezuko, but half her skull is missing, and that's gonna haunt your nightmares. If the last one didn't, that one's really gonna haunt your nightmares. So those are probably the ones that I've put in the too bad folder on my Procreate. All these other ones that we're gonna go through are kind of progression from April last year to about now, to a few days ago. The latest piece was done on Tuesday, the 27th of January 2025. The first one, this Japanese kind of woman, was April, somewhere in April. So I'd been drawing for about 3 months by now. And for a first piece, I think it's not bad. The shadows are a bit all over the place, but you know, this one was from my imagination. Can you tell? I can. This one, you can tell with the water splash that my comfort for drawing feet wasn't there. It's still not. And the hands there are actually better than most of the hands I could draw today. I was actually practicing those. This one doesn't belong in this kind of finals folder, but you could see I was really struggling. This was kind of try to get some composition, some cherry blossoms in the background. She's got pink eye, so go easy on this one. Here is when you don't know how to draw backgrounds, so you just throw in a bunch of brushes on the back. Also, don't know how to do shadows, but not, you know, I was trying out different hair. Her skull, half of her skull is missing. You should be able to see more of her hair, but the lighting was a bit better. This was also from imagination. I'm sure you can tell whenever one is from imagination without a reference. Use references. This one's Eren Yeager. My line confidence needed work, and shadows, like hard brush, but overall, you know, I feel like this is gonna get worse and worse. Those are meant to be fireworks. They look like fireworks to me in the past, and now they don't. So the artistic eye grows, I guess they say. This was good conceptually, but not really. And this one wasn't there too. There are a lot of struggles at the start because there's so much to learn. But that's what I think now. Like I'm practicing earlier today, hands, and I'm like, it's really overwhelming by the amount of things that you always have to learn. You can always practice heads, hair, eyes, nose, mouth, every part of the body, hands. Where's the bicep? Where's the chest? Colors, values, textures, like there's a million things. And so I've really learned patience, but I'm still not there yet. This was meant to be like yin and yang, but I don't know how it went. And I thought this was gonna be like, wow, I found a reference and I was like, this will be good, but never mind, I guess. Sometimes what you have in your head isn't how it turns out on paper. Same with this one. This one was a big milestone for me because I felt like I could hear the ghost of Leonardo da Vinci screaming how jealous he was at how good this was. And now I look at it and I think those were cries for help, because the amount of soft airbrush is used here, nah, and the face isn't really like, I should have drawn a midline as well, and the background. But still, pretty good milestone for this was about 6 months in, and that's what it looks like when you don't have any lashes and when you don't use hard brushes enough. And that's how I felt every time I was doing this on the train tracks, waiting. But in all seriousness, this one took a lot of time. Too much soft brush still, not confident enough with like the angles of the face, but not terrible either. Yeah, I thought this one was good. Things to work on, but you know, it was something. This one was meant to be like warm and cool. I really tried to do something different every single time, and sometimes it worked, most of the time it didn't, but I really felt like I was getting a lot of value out of everyone I was doing, and I was really enjoying it too by experimenting with those things. This one I did in the airport because I had like an 8-hour layover or something, and so I just worked on it for ages. All these pieces have taken me like 5 hours. None of them take me more than 6. But this was the first one where I really like did a lot of background, and so I thought it was good for where I was at. Very good. This is one of my favorites still of last year. This one I thought was good at the time. I couldn't see what was wrong with it, but now I can see that if you tilted her face at all, she would look like a fish. Like, she does look like a fish. You could probably park a truck in between those eyes, but the eye doesn't do that on that angle. You shouldn't be able to see that much of it. The reference was too hard. I should have chosen a reference based on my expertise, which wasn't very much. Same with this one. I was brave and tried green lighting. There was a reference, but I added the lighting in the eyes. Oh, you're gonna start to see a pattern with eyes here too. This is where I really learned. Lots of issues, but eyes were the worst one by far. They look like those googly eyes that you just like put on something. So I changed the style a little bit, and I like the lighting on this one. Background's too simple, but then this one too, like a little bit of a different style. I'm trying some different lighting. I still like that one too. This one's nice, but I could have spent a bit more time on the stars. You can tell that they're just like dotted, like not cool. I thought it wouldn't be obvious. This one was from imagination too, so I think this was pretty good, especially the head angle and stuff. That's not easy. So maybe it was a good day. I don't know. And this one really, I felt like I was stepping up a fair bit. And then I added like a mirror shattering kind of thing for past and present, whatever. But the rendering became a lot cleaner. I found a nice brush I liked, so I thought this was a real step up. And then 3 steps down, or 10. I didn't render this one that much. The colors are nice, but I don't know, you have to stick it through. Same with this one, step back, I felt like. And now I think the problem was no texture. The texture's really missing, it looks boring. This one was, I remember drawing this one on the way to my funeral. It was just, well, she passed, and I felt my style was kind of coming along. It's more the memory of this one, I think, that's meaningful to me, just because of, yeah. This was a redo of the previous one. I really liked the colors, and I understood depth a little more. Still a long way to go, but I like the complementary colors here. They're not really complementary, but split complementary kinda. I spent so long on the background on this one, and you can't even see it. For so long I was like, what should I do? Oh, I'll do like a graffiti wall. No, I'll do this. But still, I think it's one of my strongest pieces, so I can't really complain. That's meant to be Aerith from Final Fantasy VII. I didn't finish it, but it was not bad. Someone singing, it was tough. Good environment, but yeah, more detail. This is based off, what's it called? It's a Chrissy Costanza song. Forgot to Act My Age. It really inspired me. I love that, so I did this one, and I really like it still. This looks like a horror, like something for Halloween. It wasn't meant to be. It was meant to be like a lantern festival, but the background with the trees really ruins it, and the top of the eyes are too bright too. This was to prove that I could, in fact, draw men, and I think I did okay. More confident, a little bit more confident with the planes of the face. Could use a bit more in the hair, but it's Steve. And his eyes too are looking in 2 different places, I think. Just like an intense lighting study. I turned it grayscale at the end because I thought it looked better. Eyes too big, and eyes aren't meant to go that way. They're meant to go that way, if they're big, like an anime. This one as well was quite good. I really liked the colors. Too many hair strands. It was kind of a new thing I was trying, like Yoniyama Mai's hair strand kind of thing. Something I want to practice a bit more. This was more for flow, which I think is not bad. Pretty good. Not much to say on that one. I couldn't draw flowers, can you tell? But the lighting was good. I think that autumn, fall kind of thing, it was tough. I'd like to redo that one maybe one day. That was just a quick study of the eyes, because I really love the Castlevania eyes. I gave up. When you're getting a reference, pick the right difficulty for you, because if you're a beginner, sometimes they're too advanced and you just can't do it. It was kind of a waste of time. I was really happy with this one though. So, I guess it was not to be. yeah, I like the eyes too. I think the eyes went well. That was just a variation. This one, I really, really, really wanted to focus on composition and silhouette. And so I focused on, this nice curvature of the earth kind of thing. And I'm still pretty happy with that one. Not perfect, but pretty good for less than a year. This was also to prove that I can draw men. Believe it or not, that wasn't me as a reference. I wish. That jawline. This was Rose. I used Rose as a reference. And yeah, I quite like this one too. Hands are my kryptonite. Every artist's kryptonite, but I will fix it. I practiced it for the first time today, and I'll keep doing that. Yeah, pretty good. I like the cloud kind of forming the composition. Yeah, this one as well, side view, not the easiest, but way better than what I was doing before. That's how you make fireworks, not the one from 15 minutes ago. Better, not my best, but sometimes we expect too much of ourselves in 1 year. I thought it was good, and now I'm like looking at it and I'm like, it looks different on here. It was very complicated lighting. This was actually a lighting study, but I like the blue. The eyes are too close, I think. But yeah, I like the hair and the eyes. This is probably my favorite that I've done so far. The background needs to be better, especially the pink. You could use a bit more detail, but I was really happy with this one. And I still am. This one, not so much. I did this one like a week ago. Some are just harder. Background, it gets very complicated. This was a grayscale one I did last week. Way better than the ones I showed right at the start. This one doesn't hold my nightmares, so I've come a long way in values. And this was my latest piece. I wasn't really going for like a big finished composition. I was just trying to do a lighting study, stylization study, and I think I did that quite well. The lighting's not consistent, but that's mainly because I was going for proportions, and I think they look good. I really like the eyes. That's it. That's how it's gone for 1 year. Did I improve? For me, I think I've come a really long way. So much to do still, and it's really stressful sometimes when you think like how many things you have to improve to get good. But I think for myself, I've learned a lot about myself, not just about drawing. It's not really about drawing, it's about developing a good habit. I felt so much better about myself too, knowing that I can create something. There's so much satisfaction in that when you get it right, and accepting when you get it wrong too, how it contributes. Tell me how I went. How do you go in your first year? If you haven't, does this make you want to, or does this turn you off? For me, it really depends on the day, but I think I've still come a long way. That's it from me. So yeah, like and sub. See ya.